Here's the problem with the morals clause, guys. The issue, it's not just the existence of the morals clause. It's the idea to me that it's not meted out in multiple directions. If you're going to have a morals clause in place and you're going to say that somebody who has said racist things or who has cheated or who has done this or that is going to be dinged for it, there has to be a counterbalance in place where people who do good things get bumped up for it. You know, someone like Dale Murphy, who throughout the sport is seen as just an absolute prince and saint of a man, did not get additional votes because he was a good guy. You know why? You know why that's not meted out over multiple players? It's because we don't know what these guys are really like. We don't. So if you're going to try and ding them, but you can't put it in the opposite direction and lift up the ones who are good guys, the morals clause should be abolished, period. I always looked at my vote.
Here's
like, no, go ahead,
Sorry,
Max,
Jeff.
by all means.
No, I was going to say, to your point, Kennesaw Mountain Landis is in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. He erects a morals clause and makes the color line
point, Max.
and is in the Hall of Fame.
Good point, Max.
So of course it's absurd. And by the way,
Listen.
whatever you think of Curt Schilling, the person,
He passed the
Curt
character
Schilling,
test,
the player,
clearly.
and by the way, Schilling has said he doesn't believe he's a Hall of Famer. Curt, you're wrong. You should be a Hall of Famer. But Schilling has said, I don't think I'm a Hall of Famer. He wants the Veterans Committee to vote on him because he would respect it more coming basically from his peers, from other players. He's right. If the voters haven't seen enough to put Curt Schilling in the Hall of Fame, he's right about that. He should respect it more from people who he played against.
Jeff, before I go on this mini soliloquy, let me correct me. I'm pretty sure of it, but I want to make sure that I'm correct with you. We're talking about the writers who have not voted him in. Is that correct?
That's correct. He's going to be going, if he's on the ballot next year, which, by the way, I think he's going to be. He's going to be in his 10th and final year.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. 10 times and all of this stuff. This is ridiculous. Let me say this. I am an advocate of Pete Rose being in the Hall of Fame. People have been against me about that. I'm an advocate of Barry Bonds being in the Hall of Fame because he was a Hall of Famer before steroids came into play. I'm suspect on Mark McGwire since everything is predicated on home runs, okay? And obviously that's what you did. It damn sure wasn't batting average while Mark McGwire would get in. But a Pete Rose, a Barry Bonds, most definitely. Having said all of that, let me make sure everybody understands this. As a journalist for the last 27 years plus, Jeff, you know this, I know this. There are journalists with low character. Drunks, you understand, folks that use drugs, folks that don't know how to act in their personal life, and you get to dictate or really enforce a morals clause? And the Judge Landis, he's in the Hall of Fame when he was omitting and ostracizing blacks from participating in the damn sport. He's a Hall of Famer. It all the way around. You have participants in the sport, and you have individuals who were covering the sport who have very questionable characters. So I don't blame Curt Schilling one bit for saying he'll respect it more from his peers. Because, damn it, there's some questionable people in the Writers Association that's voting. Let's just call it what it is.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.